Malachy Steenson, who was robbed in the last election, joins us, although he is a local councillor. Malachy, hi, how are you?
Good afternoon, Niall.
Malachy, how do we fix this problem? Because this guy says Ireland is a kip and it's broken beyond fixing.
Well, he's right in the first part, but I don't believe it's beyond fixing. I think it's very close to that. And I think if we go through the next couple of years without solving it, then it is totally broke. You only have to look at the demographics. And if you look at the numbers of population increase, up 2 million in 15 years, that is an incredible amount of people. That's almost a 50% increase in the population.
And they're not Irish people. They're not Irish people because we're not having babies anymore.
It's immigration, right?
Yeah.
And while there's been a concentration on the IPAS applicants who come in as welfare tourists and who the government admits are not actual real asylum seekers, they're economic migrants, yet they're still allowing them in. They've now put a cop, and I see O'Riordan giving out about this, that there's actually immigration checking people coming off the planes now. When in fact, most of them are not coming off the planes anymore.
He removed
the tweet.
He removed the tweet. He's an asshole.
But that shows what a gobshite he is, But again, the people elected him. They didn't elect me or you, so people had a choice in front of them. And
to be fair, to me, the only reason he ended up getting elected over me and got that fourth seat was because he got transfers from the Green Party. So, I mean...
Well, of course he did, but that's the system. They'll all look after each other.
Yeah.
And people have like mine, but still people had to vote for them.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I don't hold with all this, there was ballot boxes missing and all of this. The people are stupid enough to do it. They don't actually need a conspiracy or need, the state to be corrupt on that level, because people will just do. And if you look at why that is, if you look at the amount of people who were employed by the state and by NGOs, that's the guts of 500,000 people. If you look at the amount of people on welfare, and the one thing that goes up in every budget is welfare. Wages don't go up. Welfare does. Tax doesn't come down, but welfare goes up, even if it's by a small amount. So there you have the guts of 750,000 people dependent on their income from the state. They will never vote to change the system. And that is the problem. Until we strip away, the welfare state, strip down the NGOs, get rid of 2/3 of them, if not 3/4 of them, and the rest of them who actually do work that the state should be doing, it should be done by the state. Because can
I just ask you, the question is, when you say it's fixable, right? It's not going to be fixable in the lifetime of this government because they're morons. And realistically,
the lifetime of this government, Niall, I would suspect would be quite short.
You really believe so?
I think international events, I do, and I didn't think that in the beginning. I think international events will expose the gobshites here. And once the recession kicks in, which it will, there will be a change. And if you look at that gobshite, Simple Simon, over in Washington yesterday, and I'm sure he'll be trumpeting today how he got this stuff deferred. I told you last week now on the programme that there was going to be a major announcement this week and things were going to be deferred, and there were serious
people are saying he's backtracking. He's not backtracking. That was the plan. That was always the plan.
Look, I listened, yes. And,
he's a businessman.
I listened to News Talk this morning for my sins, and it was, Trump has bottled it. I mean, that's the type of language. If I was Donald Trump, I'd be saying, well, the hell with you. They're back on. If that's the attitude in this state. And Simple Simon goes over. The meeting that he was to have with Lubnik was cancelled. And then they came out with a statement. And then he met Simple Simon. So Simple Simon had damn all to do with this. But what was the first thing Simple Simon done when that statement came out from the White House?
Probably took credit for it.
He rang Europe. He rang the negotiator in Europe. He didn't ring the Taoiseach in this country, who's supposed to be the leader of this country.
Well, look, I have no issue with what Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is a businessman. He's already got numerous countries to negotiate tariffs and reduce tariffs, including Vietnam and many other countries have negotiated tariffs.
And Donald Trump went into the last election, and the one before that, with the objective of making America great again, to campaign and work for America. Not for Europe, not for China, but for America. We want politicians in this country to work for this country, not for Europe, not for London, or America, or anywhere else, but for this country. And unfortunately, we have nobody in the political establishment in elected office outside of the 6 or 7 of us in the councils. Nobody in Leinster House gives a damn really about this country. All they're concerned about is...
There are one or two. I mean, I like Ken O'Flynn. I think he's very good.
Look, Niall.
But here's the thing, Malachy. If you were to start a political party tomorrow...
Have Niall.
Okay, no, let me finish. If you were to start a political party tomorrow, It would take you 15 years to get anywhere at all in an election. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'll answer that now. I'll answer that now in a second, right? All of those who are in Leinster House, their only focus and their only objective is to get re-elected. And they will never say anything that upsets the readership of the Irish Times or RTE, right? And that's the reality. We need to have it limited to, nobody can do any more than 2 terms at the most, right? What we need to do then is to relook at the presidency. And I think we need to have an executive president rather than the shambles that we have now, right? And you're talking about a political party. In November 2022, when East Wall kicked off, there was no representation, no discussion about immigration, whether it's IPAS or visa applications and things like that. Now that is the only discussion that's there. So that is a huge progress in such a short amount of time. Secondly, we have 6 or 7 councillors around Leinster now who are elected on the back of that last year, which was a year and a half into it. So there is no political party that has achieved that level of success in this country without the backing of a substantial part of the media. And we had the media against us almost in its totality, the exception of yourself, Grift and the Liberal. They're the only organs that put anything positive out about our campaign. Now, on the launch of a political party, I think that there will be developments, and there are ongoing talks right around the country in how we develop this project and bring it forward. And there will.
And you know what? There's been some good attempts, Malachy. But here's my problem, right, with the attempts of political parties around Ireland, but that would be leaning to the right or right wing. Because let's be clear, every political party we currently have at the moment is left leaning. Here's my problem, Malachy.
We're not right wing. We're conservative.
Well, conservative, okay, right of centre. You're right of centre.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so Malachy, you're right of centre. Don't be ashamed of that. I've considered myself right of centre. Okay. So here's the problem, Malachy. You know, when I see political parties evolving in Ireland, new political parties evolving in Ireland who might be right of centre, there's some good people working in them, like yourself, right? And there's good people in those parties. And then all of a sudden, nutcases get involved. And that's what happens. That's what
we're trying to sort out. We're trying to keep the nutcases away.
Yeah, the nutcases. Let's deport everybody, kick them all out of the country. And as soon as that happens, you've lost. Because there are people who want a fair system and they want it done fairly, but they're not mad racists. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, and that's the ground that we occupied. And what happened in the last election, and in the European elections to some extent, is after Varadkar went, they started moving onto the territory. They stole our clothes. They were saying the things that we were saying, the government party. And they fooled the people, right? And that's how they were part of the reason why they were able to hold power, because people didn't want to shift to people that they thought might be a bit too right of centre. Nuts.
What we've been trying Malachy, hold on. I'm running out of time rapidly. Just very quickly, go on. I can give you another 10 seconds. Go on.
And what we've been trying to do since then, even though people don't see what's going on in the background, we have been developing a political party and a political endeavour in order to bring this forward. And there may be announcements if it moves on at the speed that it should on the 26th of April in relation to that at our huge rally, which has gotten huge support right around the country and around the world, in fact. On the 26th of April from the Garden of Remembrance, which is our Easter commemoration and rally.
Okay, so just to remind people that protest march or rally is on the 26th, Easter 26th, and it's at the Garden of Remembrance. And what time, Malachy?
At 2:00, Garden of Remembrance to the GPO, and then people will be advised where.
Okay. All right, Malachy.
And I can also say while I'm on anybody there, we will need a lot of stewards. So anybody that's available to act as a steward, you should contact us through any of our social medias, and
okay,
we'll get in contact.
Thank you, Councillor Malachy Steenson. Let me go to Maurice Sweeney.